welcome back. If you've been following this channel for a while, you've likely gathered that I have a thing for Tower Bridge. If you're new here, hi, I'm Michelle, I'm Canadian, I live in London, and I like Tower Bridge. Today, we are experiencing Tower Bridge in every way I could think of, not just from the outside or by walking on it, but by actually going inside this incredible landmark that took 8 years, 31 million bricks, 10 fatalities, 28 reported injuries, and the iron equivalent to 54 London black caps to create. There's even a glass floor. Will she walk on it? You're about to find out. Tower Bridge is synonymous with London. It's featured in movies, television, video games, and it's adored by many who visit it. I was surprised to learn that this hasn't always been the case. In the late 1800s, the building of Tower Bridge was a pretty contentious issue. Although many Londoners supported the project, there were also a great number of people who really weren't into it. Even Queen Victoria had her doubts. However, soon after its completion and it was open for use in 1894, it is said that London's rapidly growing population warmed up to its presence. Maybe it had something to do with the fact that Londoners now had an alternate route across the Thames so that they could avoid the 2 to 3 hour commute that it took at the time to cross London Bridge. I have really started to enjoy taking the DLR from the Canary Wharf area where we live to Limehouse, transferring to the Tower Gateway train for 2 stops, and ending the journey just outside the Tower of London. There's something really enjoyable about coming down the escalator and the Tower of London being right there in front of you. From there, it's just a short walk or a brisk run like this guy, great pace mate, to the entrance of Tower Bridge and the Thames Path. I highly recommend taking some time to walk along the Thames Path on the south side of the Tower of London. It does get pretty busy, but it's a special spot with some great views. I have had some experiences here in London where I wish I had booked a guided tour, and others where I would have rather spent that money on an overpriced coffee and pastry. Tower Bridge, however, would not have been the same without a guided tour. Sure, you get access to all the same features as the standard ticket, unless you book the behind the scenes guided tour, which is sold out until whenever they release new tickets. But without a guide, you miss out on 90 minutes of historical expertise, urban myths, and these little quiet spaces within Tower Bridge that are not packed full of tourists. Our tour guide had some really interesting stories to tell. For example, that Tower Bridge survived World War II in part, and I quote, due to bad aim and bouncing bombs. Meaning that the slope of the tower roof lines were such that bombs would sort of just hit them and slide off into the river. I'm not an engineer or an architect, so I don't really know how that works, but it's a story. In an attempt to accommodate individual need and keep the group together, we took the lift or the elevator throughout the experience. This doesn't really sound like a big deal. You're right. I would have rather walked the 206 stairs than wait 15 minutes for the North Tower lift to pick us up only to take us back down to the ground floor when we only needed to go up a level. By the end of the tour, this became humorous because we kept having to take the lift and this kept happening. Once we finally made it to where we needed to be, I was surprised to find ourselves completely alone in the East Walkway. This is not advertised in the tour description. I don't know if tours are accessing the East Walkway due to COVID, but we had more than 30 minutes to ourselves to learn about the walkways, the bridge, and of course, to walk on, sit on, and take obligatory photos on the glass floor. Our guide kindly waited until after we had finished taking our photos to tell us about a time that a crashing tray of beer bottles and the precise step of a stiletto heel collided in the same spot, causing the glass to crack during an after-hours private party. The quick-thinking bar staff threw a towel over it, the party continued, and the glass was replaced shortly after that. In my opinion, there is a perfect time to visit Tower Bridge, and it's just before sunset. At this time of the year, that meant booking my ticket for the 3 p.m. tour, and I'm really glad I did, because the sunset views from both the east and the west walkways were pretty incredible. walkways were originally designed and intended to allow pedestrians to cross during extended bridge lifts. Nefarious activities were rumored to be taking place in the walkways, deterring people from actually using them. However, our guide shared that Londoners were probably more concerned about their time and physical effort being wasted. It took longer to climb the stairs or wait for the hydraulic lift and cross the bridge than it did to just wait for the bridge to be lifted and lowered. As it was getting dark, we took a quick walk across the south end of the bridge underneath the previous bridge master's residence, which is now a training center for staff, down a set of stairs on the east side, underneath the bridge, into the engine rooms and the gift shop. This is where the tour ends. Or is it? In the past, Tower Bridge has been painted brown, wartime gray, red, white, and blue, and today it is illuminated by an LED installation as part of a massive public art project, Illuminated River. A tour of Tower Bridge is not complete without nighttime shots. I wouldn't do that to you.
I'm about to explode.
The only thing we're missing now is the iconic bridge lift, which I can't show you because the next one isn't scheduled until Saturday, January 22nd. Tower Bridge requires 24-hour notice for a bridge lift, so you can go onto their website and see when the next lift is scheduled. I've included a link in the description. So I may not be able to show you a bridge lift, but I do have a story about one for you. It's December 30th, 1952, and our man Albert is happily driving the 78 bus over the bridge on his way towards Shoreditch. Just ahead of him, he notices that the road is quickly disappearing. The bridge is opening. Someone, whose name we don't know, has forgotten to ring the warning bell and place the rope barrier across the bridge. Albert quickly slams his foot on the accelerator and jumps the gap between the south and north sides of the bridge. He makes it, the bus makes it, all of the passengers make it. Albert is the only one injured, receiving a broken leg, a 10-pound reward, and an extra day of vacation. Way to go, Albert. Woohoo! There are now very obvious and automated mechanisms on the bridge to avoid this from happening again. We've had pretty decent weather here in London over the past week or so. Meanwhile, in Canada, miss that and also don't miss that. Clear skies over Tower Bridge gave me an idea. I've walked over Tower Bridge, through Tower Bridge. The only thing left is to go under Tower Bridge. Sure, you can do this on the footpath, but that's not gonna cut it for this Canadian. I need more. I need the Uber boat. That was a really solid afternoon adventure. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. The Uber boat is about 3 times the price of the DLR from Tower Bridge to Canary Wharf. So for most of us, that's not an everyday trip, but it is really nice once in a while. Let me know in the comments what you think about Tower Bridge. Feel free to share some facts. I really couldn't fit them all into this episode. And would you walk on the glass floor? I hope you've enjoyed exploring Tower Bridge with me today. If I've left you wanting more boat tour action, check out this episode where I take 2 different types of cruises on the River Thames. Or check out last week's episode if you missed it. Lots of clueless Canadian moments in that gem. I think that one will be a time capsule in months to come. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next week.